hopefully this is working for the second time because I keep getting interrupted because that's how it is here. Just crazy. So anyways, I should have raised the bar because I had said if you guys liked the Friday 5 Things post, 25 people liked it, then I would record this vlog. It should have shot higher. But the thing is that it's kind of a funny story and I wanted to vlog it for a long time. And what better way to just kind of jump back into vlogging, blogging, whatever the heck I'm going to do this year, than to tell you this awesome story. So a little background on the story. So I was 18, I think, roughly thereabouts. And I worked at this casket company, which delivers the caskets to the funeral homes. I mean, it's the kind of job that like you don't think about until you need to think about it. But anyway, so it was fun. Like I worked in the front office. I filed stuff, 3-hole punch stuff. You know what I mean? Like it was a fabulous job. I loved it. I love the family atmosphere. It was really fun. Well, one day, I don't even remember how this came about, but they needed me to go deliver a couple of caskets that needed to be at the funeral homes. Because obviously it's not like funeral homes just keep like endless supplies of caskets at the funeral home. Like you order them. And then like a casket distributor brings whatever you've ordered. So apparently some people had passed away on an emergent type basis and they needed these caskets and no one else was around to deliver them. And so they thought, send Tara. Okay, so here's the truck in my awesome drawing. It's what's called a box truck. It says I love big trucks, which I do. I like driving my big, if you've seen people call it my tank, my big Denali. I like big trucks, but I'm pretty sure you need like a CDL license to do this, which I never got. But so here's me in my little truck, driving around the streets of Washington with all the mountain and passes and highways, galloping Gertie the bridge, whatever, whatever. Just send Tara in the big truck, deliver the caskets, bada bing, bada boom. Problem solved, right? So we did that one time and I survived it, even though like one time I was literally there just in time for the funeral. So they had like the corpse in the garage that I had to pull up into and they were like putting it in the casket as I was like pulling it off the back of the truck. So totally interesting job. So here's me in my box truck. I mean, I did okay because whatever, you just drive it, right? I mean, it's big, but you just watch out for other people. So, then one day in the wintertime, they decided they were going to do this again. And this truck was packed this time. So I don't remember why. Like my brother worked there too part-time. Josh, I'm sure you'll chime in on this and correct me if I'm wrong. But, so Josh went with me to make some of these deliveries because we had a lot of caskets to pull off the truck. And some of them are heavy. I mean, they're like metal. Some of them are made of cardboard. You have my permission to bury me in a cardboard casket. It's fine. It works just as good. I'll just be warm food. Anyways, the metal ones are really heavy. So we were making these deliveries and I was confused because it was downtown Tacoma, which, I mean, I don't do good with one-way streets, right? If I want to get somewhere, I want to get there. I don't like this whole, like, you can only turn this way on this side and then go up a block and turn that way. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Just make it so that we can all fit and all get along on the same street. So I got really confused and turned around and I took this turn that I thought was going to like just spit me back out. And keep in mind, I'm in a huge, huge truck with like zero visibility behind me. So I'm tooling around with the big, I mean like, the big truck, like Large Marge. You ever watch Pee Wee Herman? Large Marge with the big truck. So that was me like turning this truck around. Well, as we get down there, I'm like, what on earth? There's like a chain gang being led from a van into a door. And I'm watching this going, oh my gosh, I think we're at the jail. So I'm like paying attention to the fact that there's like all these criminals all strung together, like little people. And what? Neat. Okay. So there's all these people getting taken into the jail. So I'm like paying attention to that. And I'm like, oh shoot, we can't really get out this way. But there's a parking garage and I can see the exit like through the structure onto the other side. And so whatever, I thought, okay, we'll just go through that way instead of trying to turn around because it's impossible to turn around with this thing. So here is a rough illustration of the parking garage. Me in the big box truck. And here's the parking structure. And as you can see, there is something called a clearance footage that I did not take into account or pay attention to. So Josh, my super calm brother, you can kind of see his little face here. He's just like the straight smiley like this because he's like, she's really going to do that. So I hit the cement with the truck, right? It makes this horrible crunching noise. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? And I'm like kind of panicked. And he's like, you need to back up. And I'm like, back up? No, like I think I'm stuck. I still to this day do not know what possessed me to hit the gas pedal instead of the brake and reverse. Anyways, so I kept going. I was like, forget it. I'm committed now. Both feet I jumped into driving through the parking structure. Well, what happened right here at the beginning, there was a sprinkler head. It's like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a sprinkler, like the kind that are like in most industrial places. It's like a little silver headed thing. That got embedded into the metal of the truck and came with me all 300 some feet that I rammed this truck through the parking garage. So, I mean, picture it like I'm like this truck the whole time. There's fluorescent lighting fixtures popping down all around me, wires, sparks, dripping water because the sprinkler system just got dislodged. So I kept going, just kept going. Peeled it through that parking garage somehow with this truck, like peeling back a sardine can. Just drove. And Josh, I'm like freaking out. And Josh, my brother's just like, I can't believe you just did that. Why did you just do that? Why didn't you back up? And I'm like, he's going to kill us. My boss is going to kill us. He's going to totally kill us. And I'm freaking out. And so I go like down this other back alley that doesn't have a parking structure in it. And we stop and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to go look at what happened. And Josh is like, I'm sure it's fine. I'm totally sure it's fine. So we open up the doors of the truck after we pull off like wires and fluorescent lighting fixtures and like poles and just other random paraphernalia. And basically it was complete and total chaos in the back. So these are how the caskets are loaded. This is all like the boards of what used to be the ceiling of the truck. There's snow in here. I don't even know where snow came from. I don't even know if it had snowed. But there was like, I remember there's snow and mud and just ceiling junk and wires. And I was like, oh my gosh, shut the door. Just shut the door. We're just going to take the truck back, pretend like we delivered everything, take the truck back, and then leave it, and then pretend like I'm sick and we have to go home. I'm like trying to get my brother on board with this plan, and he's like, I don't think we can do that. He's like, I think we got to tell someone. I'm like, we cannot tell anyone. I'm like, okay, let's go deliver these 2 caskets that aren't ruined, and then we'll just pretend like something else happened. So that's what we did. We delivered the 2 that we could deliver, and then we went back to the casket place. And I'm 18 and have the wherewithal of like, I don't know, maybe a 10-year-old. I'm so like, he is going to shoot me. Sure enough, we pull up into the thing and the boss's son is outside screaming. Because what I failed to realize, on top of the fact that there's cameras everywhere at the police station, but if you notice, on my truck, it has the name of the casket company and the phone number. So the police station that's now getting flooded out because the sprinkler system just got ripped out decided to call and let them know that their employee had done all this damage and then left the scene. I guess I didn't know like where to go. Like, where do you go to the police station and be like, hey, guess what? My bad. I just destroyed your parking garage, but I destroyed my truck more. So we're kind of even. Thank you. Bye. So that was they had called him, and the boss's son was flipping out. And so I'm sobbing. Like, I have never sobbed before. And I'm like, just shoot me. Just put me in the casket now. I'm so sorry. I'll never be able to pay this back. I mean, like, this is thousands of dollars of damage. Well, then my boss, God bless that man, pulled me into his office, and he's like, this is what we have insurance for. You didn't do anything wrong other than, not stopping and calling me right away. And he calmed me down. And to this day, he will forever be one of my heroes for the way that he handled that situation. I mean, he's like, we'll figure it out. Go home. Obviously, take the rest of the day off. Don't ever drive again. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to calm myself down. We go home. And after a few hours, whatever, we have dinner. So we're sitting at the dinner table, a family and me. And we watch TV on this, TV that's by our dining room table or whatever. So here's my brothers, Daniel, Doobie, my mom. This is me and my sister, and this is my dad. And on the news comes on this story about how in a mysterious freak accident, the police station is completely underwater, the first floor, because the sprinkler system got ripped out. So I'm shoveling food into my mouth, that's weird. Josh's face is oh my gosh, looking at me, and I'm like, shut up. And Josh looks at me, and my parents both knew that we had been delivering stuff all day. This is my mom's face, the Janie face, what did you do? My dad's just So anyways, yeah, then my boss called my parents. And that was fun. And I don't think I've ever driven a big box truck since then. So that is the story of how I drove a 12-foot high casket truck through a 9-foot high clearanced parking garage and did a lot of damage. But hey, if you ever have anything to deliver, I'm your girl. Let me know. Call me up. Delivery service. What? All right, I hope you enjoyed the story. Let me know if you have any questions or what you think my next blog should be about. Peace, party people.